Good morning, HubSpot Nation. Welcome to Wake Up with Customer Platform, the unofficial HubSpot morning show, where we help you discover the platform value you already own. I'm Chris Carolan, and every weekday at 6 a.m. Central, we're here to make sure you're not sleeping on HubSpot's true capabilities. If you're joining live, drop a quick hello in the comments and let me know what you're building in HubSpot today. For replay viewers, timestamps are in the comments below. It's time to wake up to what's happening in the HubSpot ecosystem. A few new updates since yesterday, but something is nagging at me as always. This topic keeps coming up since last week. This shift from Breeze or from HubSpot Insights to Breeze Enrichment has been on the way for a while. And our friend Kevin Van Beers mentioned last week, RIP HubSpot Insights. You will be missed. A lot has been said about Breeze these past couple days. I need some insights from the HubSpotters here. I'm diving into Breeze at the moment, and it has me somewhat confused. Looking at HubSpot Insights from a data perspective, the below list of company properties would get populated if known, based on domain name, if I'm not mistaken. Annual revenue, city, country, description, Facebook company page, industry is public, LinkedIn bio, LinkedIn company page, name, number of employees, phone number, postal code, state region, state address, street address to, time zone, total money raised, X account handle, web technologies, website URL, year founded. Now looking at Breeze, are there any extra company properties that get populated, or did they just paywall it and said, F it? It's going to be a hard sell to existing customers to move over to Breeze if all you want is enrichment, I'd say. I know there's a lot more to Breeze, but I'm focusing on the enrichment part right now. Baby steps. So one thing to note is that Breeze data enrichment is definitely different from the rest of Breeze AI and requires credits and like it's a data enrichment tool. So Breeze Intelligence, I should say, is the data enrichment. It does not really have anything to do with, or it's not the same product when we talk about like, Breeze Copilot or Breeze agents, right? If we come back here and I've got to turn it on somewhere. I won't go off the screen or else I'll lose my updates here. But I just want to say, like, let's think about this statement here. Looking at HubSpot Insights from a data perspective, the below list of company properties would get populated if known based on domain name, if I'm not mistaken. And this is my problem with like quarterbacking from the company page. Most companies I've seen are using other things like custom properties to activate their teams, either because they've done a good job of building targeted ICPs and they start to establish fields that make it easier to report on and highlight those in the CRM, or they just don't trust the information that's been populated because HubSpot Insights had a tendency to only get updated once a year. And if I'm not mistaken, was everybody's view of HubSpot Insights. How, like, weren't really sure how it was working in terms of where the data was coming from always. So many times I got real excited about web technologies being available to me. And then when I would actually get on a call, it wasn't the truth. Um, so I wanted to bring it up. I've mentioned in this post that um, like the industry field has caused the most problems for me. And I think autofilling in general causes teams to not respect any of this information because they don't have to do the work to understand it. So they gloss over it. I mean, and this is why you get spammed. This is why you get messages that aren't relevant. Um, and specifically, the ecosystem's really bad at understanding companies' hierarchies. And Lizzie here says, I like the sound of it in principle, but have concerns about how it would work in practice, particularly where companies are multi site but share a domain. This is the thing that the ecosystem does not have a standardized approach on right now, and it's causing a lot of issues. And I've shared examples in the past. So let's say you're working with HubSpot and you want to target all the offices, right? They're all HubSpot.com. They're all going to come in as title HubSpot or as company name HubSpot, but you might want to know this one's in Boston, this one's in San Francisco, this one's in Dublin, right? So a practice that I usually implement as the easiest start to differentiate, because at some point you're looking at this list and you don't always see the fields with the names, right? But once you highlight which variables you want, you can easily make the company name, especially via workflows. But I'd argue this is the part where a little bit of, elbow grease can help. If you have to name the company record one time, like one time name adjustment, HubSpot dash Boston, Massachusetts, HubSpot dash San Francisco, California, right? And now you have child associations with those offices, with the parent company, and then the ecosystem sucks at that. Like, if you're basing everything off of the domain, you can't enrich the other records in the way that you need to, right? So let's look at like what we're supposed to be doing with the company object. The professional account manager of your CRM, structured profiles for coordinated customer experience across departments in on your team, right? So marketing, sales, success. And as soon as you get into post sales land, this is where it's just a mess. Because when you're looking in the accounting systems and ERPs and other like revenue management systems, and again, we come back to revenue management will rule the day on this because we have to confirm who has paid and that they got the invoice. And very quickly, just two locations inside of the same company causes you to do this completely differently than how enrichment works, right? So the company object represents the organizational relationships within your business ecosystem. It transforms account level engagement and information into structured profiles that enable coordinated customer experiences across departments. Maintaining a complete view of each organization's relationship, potential, and activities while ensuring proper engagement at all levels. This all levels stuff. Like you totally lose that when all your focus is on enrichment for prospecting purposes. Which, in my experience, whenever a salesperson is talking to me about how they start their day, when they go to the company records, like that's what I'm hearing. Like they don't start with the contact records. It's crazy to me. And when you if you look at where it originates, contact creation, website identification, let's say if we're using intent data, manual entry, data enrichment, imports, partner referrals, right? All these different things, like it's just crazy to me that we would want to leave this, we would want to automate this step out, especially if we know we're going to, um, we have two locations at least. Uh, and what has happened, because we need to enrich it based on a domain, we try and always reduce it to one company record, which is no longer effective. Maybe it never was, right? And I'll jump into updates after this, but just look at the growth and evolution of a company record, right? This one's easy. And um, like creation stage, basic information, domain verification, initial associations. We don't even get that right because we want the system to do everything for us. And this is where like the system stops doing that. Like relationship development is the key. And if you don't understand the relationships via association, it's not going to work for you. The HubSpot tool set will not work for you very well. But this stage 2, profile enrichment, contact mapping, opportunity discovery, relationship building. You need to understand the company that you're working with and the people at that company in order to do this part. Enrichment will never do that for you. The closest it gets is contact mapping. And even then, you get a list of contact with job titles. Every company, like the decision making process is different, the decision structure is different. So, how good is that? Like, you shouldn't really associate too many people to a deal, for example, until you're confirmed that they're involved in the deal and they are part of the decision making committee. All right. So maybe it's time to start to take this a little more seriously, not just hope and pray that this will get auto-filled, because we never go back to fix it. We either merge them so there's one company, I don't have to look at the same 10 HubSpot records, or we just leave them. So every time it becomes hard to select which one, and naturally the wrong ones get associated. So, um, so use the workflow tools wisely here. It doesn't have to be super manual. I just want teams to understand what's actually happening when they go to enrich stuff, and the reason, the state that we're in, people not knowing how to associate company records with each other and with contacts, and how to manage a deal with more than one contact and more than one company on it, because there's multi locations or we're talking to different levels of the organization. This is why, like, we've been relying on these other tools and to enrich the data. Meanwhile, we're not enriching ourselves with that data. Okay. Thank you for listening to that rant. And I'd love to talk to anybody about how they do it. It's another episode about what they've seen. We've got to find a way to standardize a little bit, instead of just running towards Breeze Intelligence or whatever enrichment tool of the day to solve this problem for us. It's not going to solve that problem for us. So, what do we have on our product updates page? In development, unified data privacy request management, forward looking statement at the top. Let me just reiterate what that is. This record includes updates regarding current development efforts for our existing or new products or services. These updates are not intended to be a promise or guarantee of future availability of products, services, or features, but merely reflect our current plans based on factors currently known to us. They also are not intended to indicate when or how particular features will be offered or at what service tiers or price. These planned and future development efforts may change without notice. What is it? Unified Data Privacy Request Management. Admins can now configure and publish their data privacy request page in a few clicks. So contacts can submit data privacy requests. Why does it matter? Once a data privacy request is set up, admins can view, assign, and complete a contact's data privacy request within the time frame suggested by privacy laws. This new functionality works. This new functionality reduces the number of tools and steps required to manage data privacy requests from contacts. How does it work? Customers can configure and publish their data privacy request page by going to Settings, Privacy and Consent, Data Request Setup, Enable. Admins select the data privacy options they want to include in their data privacy page using a toggle. Admins select Publish Page, which will automatically publish the data privacy request page. This will also provide a URL domain that you can use to link to your privacy policy website. The Data Privacy Request Manager enables admins to view and complete data privacy requests in one place. You can see a screenshot in the settings here. That looks nice. And what would we do in that place? We would permanently delete contacts data, export contacts data, and delete enriched contacts data. They can also manually create data privacy requests and assign data privacy requests to users who have admin permissions to delete and export. Who gets it? All hubs and additions. Once it comes out, it is currently in development. More love for the admins. Going live today, a couple of updates, or yesterday, sorry. Enriched error messages in public CRM object APIs. This is a very underrated thing. So don't no no update gets skipped over here. We need error messages to be effective so that we can get the support we need. What is it? HubSpot upgraded the error responses in its public object APIs by adding detailed property validation error information within a new errors field. The standard response bodies for CRM object API requests will now include a new structured field that provides detailed information about property validation failures, offering more descriptive error messages with each sub error containing a message, code, and context, such as property name. This change aims to improve the feedback for API users, enabling developers to more easily and quickly identify and correct property-specific issues in their API requests. Why does it matter? This enhancement will reduce the time required to maintain any logic needed to extract error information when making requests to our public CRM object APIs. Users interested in debugging API errors, implementing more comprehensive error handling, and reducing the complexity of client-side logic required to parse and interpret error messages will all benefit from this upcoming change. How does it work? API users can leverage the errors field in the response body of requests as needed. This is not a breaking change. And users can continue to use the existing message field to parse error messages. Message field contents and formatting in the response will remain unchanged. Who gets it? All hubs and additions. This is important. When I was first becoming familiar with the problems created by a lack of effective error messages. I was working with Bill to integrate CPQ into HubSpot. And every time there would be an error, it wouldn't tell me what the error was. And I would have to go back to the developer and then he would have to look at the log and then figure out what's going on. Right. Um, that takes a lot of time and effort and mental load. So the clear our error messages, uh, the better. I also see it as a place that as you work with AI to do coding or to develop um, code code related stuff, as it improves things, it's often improving the error handling. Right? And it does that by improving error messages. Um, is at least one way. This is coming from a non-developer. If you couldn't tell, I'm probably saying all the wrong words. Campaign impact reporting. Primary campaigns data source now available in the custom report builder. What is it? You can now create custom campaign reports in HubSpot's custom report builder, thanks to a new data source called campaigns. This new campaigns reporting functionality allows you to take your campaign reports and dashboard to a new level, making it easier to measure and report on the success of individual or multiple campaigns. This bespoke campaigns data source is a combination of default and custom campaign properties, the campaign's influence contacts event, and properties from associated asset objects. Properties from associated asset objects. But imagine those are the assets associated with your campaigns, which means all those asset objects need properties, which gets us closer to the world of everything as an object, and that's very exciting. This complex data structure enables you to answer key questions in evaluating the success of your campaign, such as how do my influence contacts move through my lifecycle stages? How many contacts and or companies have been influenced per campaign? What's my total campaign spend versus campaign budget per campaign? What campaign has the highest amount of page views? What campaign has the highest variety of channels? Parentheses, asset types. What asset type and asset has generated the most amount of influence contacts across certain types of campaigns, and much more. How does it work? All details about the new campaigns data source, how to build reports, example report, and more can be found in this knowledge base article. Who gets it? The campaigns app is available to Marketing Hub Professional and Marketing Hub Enterprise users. Brilliant to include that in the reporting tool now. All I'll say is make sure you're going to do stuff with the answers to these questions. And don't just create pretty reports to get the answers because you like seeing pretty reports or pretty dashboards. Do something with the influence contacts information or the channel information that you're getting. A lot of value there if you use the data to make decisions. Running down the list here, I don't think I'll go into each one so that we can get through these, do some catch up here. Um, Automated scheduling for backups is in a private beta right now. What is it? Automate CRM data backups with weekly or bi-weekly scheduling options. Why does it matter? CRM data backups protect your organizational data by preserving previous versions, allowing for easy data restoration and organizational continuity in case of accidental damages or data loss. Let's hear it for backups. International numbers, Nordics, Japan, France. What is it? HubSpot phone number acquisition is now available in private beta in additional countries: Norway, Sweden, Denmark, Iceland, Japan, France. You can submit business documentation for these regions and acquire a HubSpot phone number that can be used for inbound and outbound calling, team calling, and help desk, IVR, and more. Let's hear it for going international. Automated sales tax collection on invoices with Commerce Hub. What is it? Automated sales tax allows Commerce Hub customers to use accurate, on demand sales tax calculations when selling with invoices. Sales tax is automatically calculated based on the buyer's location and then collected at checkout. And now, automated sales tax is also available to Commerce Hub customers using HubSpot Payments. Why does it matter? Keeping track of ever-changing tax rules and tax rates is incredibly difficult. With automated sales tax, you can shift the burden of tax compliance to Commerce Hub so you can focus on selling instead of calculating tax. Brilliant. Don't sleep on Commerce Hub this year. Customize HubSpot marketing emails with recently viewed Shopify products. What is it? Now you can use the Shopify app to pull contacts recently viewed products from your Shopify store into your HubSpot marketing emails. This new option allows you to easily identify and showcase products that your customers have recently explored, helping to re-engage them and boost sales. Why does it matter? Previously, you couldn't customize HubSpot marketing emails with recently viewed products from your Shopify store, which limited your marketing campaigns. Now you can boost engagement and sales by integrating these personalized product recommendations directly into your emails using synced data from Shopify. I repeat, using synced data from Shopify. If your Shopify integration is not good, this will not work for you. So clean up that integration. Very interested in this one, so I'm going to run through it. Step one, grant Shopify product views access permission to your HubSpot portal. And I'll highlight this as a private beta as well. To grant access permissions, navigate to the Connected Apps page and click on Shopify app. Next, click on the Feature Discovery tab within the Shopify app, and within the banner message at the top, click Enable. Re-authenticate your Shopify account by entering your Shopify store domain name. Next, grant permission for HubSpot to access website interactions data from your Shopify store, then click Update. Step two, use the recently viewed products filter within your email. Next, create a new email in HubSpot or open an existing email and click the products module on the left-hand side. Note you need a Marketing Hub Pro or Enterprise plan to access the product module within the email editor. Under product recommendations, choose recently viewed products. Next, you have several customization options, including selecting a specific Shopify store. If you have multiple stores connected to your HubSpot portal, you can also customize default options in case a customer receiving this email hasn't viewed any products recently. Who gets it? You must have Marketing Hub Pro or Enterprise plan and have the Shopify app installed. You will also need a paid Operations Hub plan to enable custom field mapping. That is a big deal for those utilizing Shopify. We will round it out today with our last three: social inbox re-envisioned with YouTube comments and mentions. What is it? We're excited to announce powerful new features in your HubSpot social inbox that will streamline your social media management like never before. Here's what's new: respond to all public social interactions, say goodbye to threading headaches. You can now respond to all your public social media comments and mentions from one unified inbox, making it easier to stay on top of all your interactions. can see comments on all published posts, engage with your audience effortlessly. You can now view and reply to comments on all your externally published posts directly from your inbox. YouTube comments, managing YouTube just got easier. Now you can handle YouTube messages as smoothly as you do with other social platforms, keeping your communication consistent across all channels. Even easier task management with bulk updates. Keep your workflow organized. Clearly see which messages are read or unread. Archive. And now save for later or mark as spam to manage your tasks efficiently. You can now also update these status in bulk. It seems like a big deal. Scheduled for release, expected January 15th, next week. Who gets it? Professional customer platform, enterprise customer platform, marketing pro, marketing enterprise. Track property changes with property change events. Be a good property to track changes on would be that company name we were talking about earlier. What is it? Property change events allow you to track and utilize change history for reporting customer journey analytics, segmentation, and automation. This includes using change metadata such as timestamps, initiators, previous values, and current values. Why does it matter? With this update, you can easily track when object property values change and use those events in reporting, lists, and automation. This is key, and people want this for enrichment. I know that, so that you can be notified if enrichment doesn't do it the way you want it or enriches over some data that you've already managed. How does it work? Here are the instructions if you want to test it out. Currently, this beta tracks up to 25 properties. Each month, you can capture up to 30 million event completions, individual instances of changes, including other event types like API events and custom JavaScript events. Who gets it? Enterprise customer platform, marketing hub, enterprise. Of course, because marketing hub and marketers are the only ones that care about that. Not really, just kidding. Lastly, view form submissions from mobile, iOS only. What is it? Mobile users now have the capability to view all submitted web form fields associated with a lead or contact directly through the HubSpot mobile app within the relevant contact, or if applicable, existing lead record. Mobile users can access all form fields information provided at the time of form submission. Lesson learned. I will try to end this at 6:30 in the future and hopefully avoid those blunders in the background. If enabled, users will receive a mobile push notification to let them know when a new lead has submitted a form to directly get access to it. That sounds pretty cool. It'll be even more cool when we get it on Android too. Who gets it? This feature is currently available only to iOS users across all tiers within contact records and also on leads for those on a Sales Hub Professional and Enterprise seat. Access for Android users will be introduced shortly. And just real quick, what do we got scheduled for release today? Anything? Nothing today. Upcoming legacy product library sunset on Friday the 10th. And that's our show for today. Remember, You probably already own the solution you're looking for in HubSpot. You just need to wake up to it. Join us tomorrow morning at 6 a.m. Central as we continue exploring platform value hiding in plain sight. If this was helpful, share it with another HubSpot user who needs this wake up call. Drop your biggest takeaway in the comments and let me know what platform capabilities you want to wake up to next. I'm Chris Carolan, and this has been Wake Up with Customer Platform. Now go build something amazing. Have a great day, everybody.